The use of the radio has made it desirable to make some announcements that we didn't used to make when everybody could see and hear who came into the building. But not only is this building now filled to capacity, but there are thousands of people who are listening in on the outside. And many are witnessing what you witnessed this morning by television in different parts of the country. God, we live in a wonderful age.
President Stephen L. Richards of the First Presidency will be our first speaker this afternoon. He will be followed by Elder Eldred G. Smith. President Richards. The choir will sing Holy, Holy.
Page 4.
Oh, that's all right. Some think I'm getting old.
I had a young missionary come in to visit with me as he returned from the Argentine. I knew his people back in Washington, and he had been kept over to help train some of the other missionaries until he'd been away from home for 3 years. And I said, Craig, do you feel like it was a waste of time to be in the mission field, that you ought to have been home getting your education, getting ready to settle down? He said, now listen, Bishop, if the brethren want to make me happy, just let them load me on the plane in the morning and send me back to the Argentine. You can't buy that kind of feeling in the hearts of young people with money. The Lord who creates the feelings of the human breast is the only one who can put that kind of faith into the hearts of his people. Is this red now? Is it my time to quit? I think they got the red button on here, and I mustn't indulge on the other man's time. Brethren, after all the missionary service I've had, I wouldn't want to raise a boy and not have him go on a mission for his good, and because I think we owe so much to the world to share with them the truths of the gospel.
In mentioning the brethren who are here this morning, I failed to mention Brother LeGrand Richards, whom we miss today. He's been very ill. Pardon? Oh. We can go ahead now. We didn't know how we would.
It is proposed that we sustain President Spencer W. Kimball as prophet, seer, and revelator, and president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. All in favor, please manifest it. Contrary, by the same sign.
President Romney, it appears that there are 3 negative votes. This is to advise those so voting that they may meet with Elder Gorden B. Hinckley of the Council of the 12 following this session. Thank you.
Thank you.
As I consider some of the problems people cause themselves by failing to look ahead, I think of a letter I clipped a long time ago from a newspaper. It was first published in England. I hope you'll pardon a bit of humor. I use it only to set the stage for what I wish to say. It appears that an English company owned a property in the West Indies. A violent storm damaged one of the buildings, and a man was sent to make repairs. Of his experience, he wrote the manager as follows: "Respected sir, when I got to the building, I found that the hurricane had knocked some bricks off the top. So I rigged up a beam with a pulley at the top of the building and hoisted up a couple of barrels of bricks. When I had fixed the building, there were a lot of bricks left over. I hoisted the barrel back up again and secured the line at the bottom, and then went up and filled the barrel with extra bricks. Then I went to the bottom and cast off the line. Unfortunately, the barrel of bricks was heavier than I was. And before I knew what was happening, the barrel started down, jerking me off the ground. I decided to hang on. And halfway up, I met the barrel coming down and received a severe blow on the shoulder. I then continued to the top, banging my head against the beam and getting my finger jammed in the pulley. When the barrel hit the ground, it burst at its bottom, allowing all the bricks to spill out. Now I was not heavier than the barrel, and so started down again at high speed. Halfway down, I met the barrel coming up and received severe injuries to my shins. When I hit the ground, I landed on the bricks, getting several painful cuts from the sharp edges. At this point, I must have lost my presence of mind. I let go of the line. The barrel then came down, giving me another heavy blow on the head and putting me in the hospital. I respectfully request sick leave. President Benson.
Brethren, I know what you're thinking. And you're thinking that I want to be comfortable, which is true.
Once we start to recognize the many miraculous and blessed manifestations of God and Christ in our lives, the everyday variety
from the fresh. You're okay.
The everyday variety, as well as restored sight to the blind and restored hearing to the deaf. We may be truly bewildered at the unexplainable principles and processes that bring about such wonders.
President Howard W. Hunter, President of the Council of the 12 Apostles, has just spoken to us. His theme was that of miracles. He spoke of the miracle of renewal, the springtime following winter. And all who have heard his voice, all who have witnessed his coming to the podium, have witnessed a miracle in our time. Perhaps not just one miracle, President Hunter, 2 miracles. It's been said, lead us, O lead us, great molder of men, out of the darkness to strive once again. Fantastic example for all.
As we open this great conference, we note the absence of Elders David B. Haight and D.L. A. Maxwell of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles. Each of them served long and very effectively. We mourn their passing. We greatly miss them. We extend our love to their dear ones. We are confident they are carrying on this great work on the other side of the veil. We recognize that in the natural course of events, there are recurring vacancies which make necessary filling these as they are created. After fasting and prayer, we have called Elder Dieter Frederick Uchtdorf and Elder David Allen Bednar to fill these vacancies in the Quorum of the 12 Apostles. We present their names to you this morning. You may not know them, but you'll get acquainted with them pretty soon. Those of you who feel you can sustain them in this sacred calling will please signify by the uplifted hand. Any who may be opposed, their names will be included in the sustaining of all the authorities later in the conference. Now we ask these brethren to take their places on the stand with members of the 12. Take a good look. They will speak to us Sunday morning, and you'll get to know them better. Now, in opening the